The Princess V-Class range are some of the most popular sports cruisers around, and behind me here is the flagship of the range, the brand new V65. And I'm going to give you a full tour of it and explain what makes it different to this particular S65 that I'm on. My name is Hugo Andreae, you're watching Boat Yachting. Let's go and tour it. So for those of you who know your Princesses, the difference between a V-Class and an S-Class is that the V-Class is a pure sports cruiser with no flybridge whatsoever. It's just a two-deck boat, and the S-Class has a small sport bridge. So it's not quite a full flybridge, but it does have an upper deck with an upper helm. This is the pure classic traditional sports cruiser styling, and it looks fantastic. Obviously it's a little bit lower and leaner. It's exactly the same hull, but the main difference is when you're on board the main deck. So we'll go on board and take a proper look, but just drink in the looks here. Very good view of the foredeck area here, exactly the same as the S65, but a really versatile space. Lovely, lean, low looks. Lots of glass both in the hull and in the deck saloon. Nice bit of contrast between the grey and the white mouldings. Much more sort of detail and clever little styling cues and riffs that just add a bit of visual interest. But it is a very elegant looking boat, and whichever angle you look at it from, it just sort of looks right. All the proportions are right, the profile is right, the details are right. So let's jump on board and have a closer look. Starting at the stern then, we've got a large hydraulic bathing platform, but it looks like you can fit chocks there, but there shouldn't really be any need unless you want to carry a jet ski as well, because under here is the tender garage, and we can probably have a bit of a look at that. So this whole sunbed lifts up. This is access to the garage. Now you can see the roller system, that platform 6 down. The jet tender rolls out of there. Remind me what size you can get in there? So Williams 345 fits inside there, so really good size tender. And obviously when you've got an elegant sports cruiser, you don't want to ruin it with a tender hanging off the back, so having it tucked away in there is a very neat solution. Steps up from the bathing platform on both sides of the sun pad. Really good size. I like the fact there's a little bit of tilt on the headrest here, so you get a bit of support. And a full-length sun canopy that extends out electrically from the overhang of the hardtop, but also got these rather elegant carbon fibre supports that just lock in down there and provide a bit more structural rigidity. Lovely C-shaped dining area here. Classic Princess table with slightly mixed grain angles on it. Obviously folds up too to make it into a smaller coffee table. And because this is a V-Class with no upper deck to go to, you lose the staircase that you get in the S-Class range, and that creates just a bit more space down here in the cockpit area, as well as room for a larger wet bar. And obviously there's no upper deck, so it makes sense to have the wet bar on this level. And here we've got a grill under there. We've got a refrigerated locker in there for your drinks, and a sink in there. Here are all the switches for the lights and so on. Underwater lights as well, of course. Got all the pumps on this side. Really nice, neatly integrated stern gear. Full walk around decks, but first let's go through into the main saloon. Big window provides connection between the galley area and the wet bar and the cockpit. Sliding glass doors as usual. All on the same deck level, so very easy movement between the two. You've obviously got a grill there, to any water that gathers in here drains away before it gets in to the deck saloon area. Still wood though, so you can come through here if you need to with wet feet. You're not going to damage the carpet or anything. Dining area opposite the galley, nice and close. Fully equipped galley, exactly the same really as an S65, but you've got fridge, freezer, induction hob, oven, dishwasher. Table flips over there if you want to create a smaller sort of informal coffee area. Lovely big lounge area here. big wrap of seating. But what I really wanted to show you is just how transformative that sunroof is, because up above me here, it feels like a totally enclosed deck saloon boat. But when we open this sunroof, it is absolutely astonishing. I don't think I've ever seen a bigger sunroof on a 65-foot yacht. And you think, okay, well, what difference does it make just having a bit of extra square footage in the opening? But honestly, it feels like a completely different experience. It genuinely does feel like an open boat. It's just nothing up above you all the way, and it stretches. Let me give you a view from this angle too. Look how big that opening is. It's over the entire length of this forward lounge area, fully open. And it just makes a massive difference. It honestly feels like you're sitting outside in here with that much sky over your head. An opening side door there, the rear doors open there. You can just feel the breeze flowing through it. And it shouldn't make as much difference as it does, but honestly, I'm not kidding you here. It does feel like a completely different boat because of that. Now, I think you probably have got the option of a second corner seat in there if you want to. This has got the full sweep of bar units. You've got just little storage in there. We've got all the glasses and so on in there, bottle racks. Got a fridge in there and another little ice maker in there. And of course, when you're actually helming the boat, again, it's so nice to have fresh air on both sides. So we've got the skipper's door here out onto the side deck, got that sunroof overhead, and then a really nice clear helm area. Nothing particularly trick about it, but Princess just do it very well. The ergonomics are spot on. You've got the throttles on a little plinth that comes out towards you a bit. Very clear, easy access to the trim tabs. Twin Raymarine screens, central one for all the engine dials, adjustable steering wheel, bow and stern thrusters, air vents, and a very good view through that screen. One of the things they do best, they just get things right in terms of clarity and ergonomics. Let's take a quick view out along this side deck to the foredeck area. We saw that from outside the boat, but again, they've worked very hard to make this a truly versatile area. So you've got the forward facing seating on this side. These sun pads, very clever but very simple design. You can see that they've got backrests that work both ways. So you can have them this way to create a backrest for the seat. So you've got face-to-face seating, but I can also lift that up, fold it down, put that backrest down. Now you've got a full-length sun pad, but if you want a bit more support for your head, if you want to read a book, for instance, you can lift up this one, prop that one up, and then you've got a lovely supported headrest or backrest, and you can sit there very comfortably reading your book. The other thing I really like, it's such a simple little thing, but between the two seats, there's yet another refrigerated locker. So you just roll over, grab yourself a cold beer from there, and tuck in. And that's another view of that low profile roof. And probably quite a good opportunity. This is a locker just for fenders and lines and things, but I think that's going to be strong enough for me to step on. And look at the size of that opening. I'm not sure if there's any particular square meterage on that, but it is simply vast. I cannot over exaggerate the size of that. Very comfortable side decks, grab rails up here, navigation lights, and here are some of those just little extra little curves and shapes that add a bit of visual interest. Right, let's carry on through the main deck. Now, I can't pretend that it's really any different below decks to an S65, but it is worth just reminding you how it all fits together, because once again, they just use the space very cleverly and effectively. Let's start with the main event, the master cabin. Lovely full beam, big windows, plenty of headroom, I would say that is 6'5" or 6" maybe. Opening portholes so you can get a bit of fresh air. Lovely little integrated settee within that whole unit, so rather than a sort of separate settee and a sideboard, it's all integrated into one piece, but just some nice shapes and detailing going on there. Ensuite bathroom, what they call a sort of super yacht style, so it separates the sleeping area from the engine room, provides a bit of extra noise insulation. It also means you've got a full beam bathroom that stretches all the way from one side to the other. It means you've got natural light and an opening porthole in the shower compartment. Nice long stretch of floor space. Sink integrated into the surface there. You can see again, rather than a separate unit, it's all one moulding. Just looks very clean, very simple. Heated towel rail. Lots of nice woodwork. Little opening storage lockers. Kind of wardrobe dressing area on this side. Full height hanging locker. It kind of creates a lobby area to the bathroom, but it's also an extension to the cabin itself. It just provides, again, more of a sort of feeling of volume and space. Just having that extra floor room rather than having a door there just frees it all up a bit. And then moving forward, worth pointing out that on this side we've got big TV set in the bulkhead and obviously more storage along that starboard side. Immediately outside the cabin we've got plenty of storage space and a washer dryer, so perfect for storing your linen and laundry outside the cabin, so shouldn't disturb you too much. Likely to be an owner-run boat anyway, to be honest, but still nice not to have it in one of the cabins. Bunk cabin over on this side. Relatively narrow beds, but plenty of natural light, decent headroom. Not quite so much space in there. I'd choose the top bunk if there's any choice involved. Over on the starboard side, we've got a twin cabin. Pretty good space here. This looks like it has slide across beds. Oh, not sure, they may not be fitted to this boat, but I'm pretty sure you can get beds that slide across to create a double there if you want to. Good headroom around here. It drops a little bit over the heads of the beds, but to be honest, that's not going to make much difference. You can still sit up in bed and read a book. Hull windows continues in there. Opening ports on two sides of it. This is ensuite. It is what we call a Jack and Jill bathroom, so you've got ensuite access from this cabin, but you've also got access from the corridor, so that bunk cabin over on the port side also has access to it, and effectively it doubles as a day head for the main saloon as well. So you've got access through here into that shared ensuite. And then VIP forward. Really good sized cabin here, plenty of floor space at the foot of the bed. Bed itself not too high. Sometimes it feels like you're sort of clambering up into the bed, but this seems nicely balanced. We've got a couple of small steps up on either side. Those hull windows that extend all the way along the hull means you've got a good view from the bed. Perfect height for if you're lying in bed, you can peer out at the sea. Opening ports there, storage all the way around the top of the bed. Hanging locker over on this side. And then ensuite bathroom tucked in this port corner. Actually, that's pretty generous too, given that this is the VIP bathroom. Got good floor room, toilet tucked over on this side. Still got natural light and fresh air in here, and a really good size shower compartment, again with its own separate window, letting a bit more natural light in. Blinds everywhere, looks modern, nice and clean, but does give you privacy, or indeed darkness at night when you're bedding down. TV in the bulkhead here. Little vanity unit over there. I think you can probably pull that out. Can't quite, oh, there we go. Pops out like that. So you've got a bit of a drawer, mirror there. Air conditioning vents cleverly integrated just above eye level. And then back out into that lovely deck saloon. And now the sun has come out, it looks even better. Sunlight now pouring through that opening sunroof. and totally transforming the look and feel of this deck saloon boat. So that leaves you with a little bit of a quandary, to be honest. Would you prefer the S-Class with exactly the same lower deck space, similar main deck layout but with a smaller sunroof, but an extra sport bridge up on top? Or would you prefer the purer sports coupe with just the 2 decks and that massive opening sunroof? To be totally honest, I'm a little bit torn. I'm not sure which I would go for. But I guess in this world, what really matters is the fact that both exist. You can choose whichever one you like. So that is the Princess V65. Do let me know what you make of it, whether you would go for the purer sports cruiser or the more versatile sports bridge. Love to hear what you think. And of course, as always, thank you very much for watching.